I think it's time. I think it's time for an amazing, amazing write-up. Call of Duty remote permaban exploit. Now, Thor whispered in my ear what happened. I could not believe it myself. He sent me the article. We're going to go through this. This can't be real. This has to be the most insane thing we've seen potentially ever on this stream. The following is a quote and paste from Visor, the founder of the exploit, detailing the exploit he found and its abuse. These are not my words. Please contact him on session regarding the exploit if you have questions. I will provide a session ID to anyone who asks me for it. Overview. The signature scanning is a mechanism implemented by all modern anti-cheats. When used correctly, it is an effective way to catch and ban cheaters in video games. Also, antiviruses use this technique to catch and identify malware, so the method is not new or fundamentally flawed. Now, I don't really know what signature scanning is. I only just had like a basic understanding of it. I believe it's where you scan various regions of memory to see have they been altered by the program, and if they've been altered by the program, then there's something that has gone deeply wrong with your program, which means that somebody is tampering with it. The way signature scanning works, here it is that it scans your computer's memory for footprint of known cheat software. This requires that anti-cheat devs carefully analyze the cheat and create a unique signature that is only found in your RAM when the cheat is loaded and never found when the cheat is not loaded. All right. Footprint or fingerprint. This would be a footprint because that's the shape of the memory it leaves. But to turn it into a hash, that's the fingerprint. But anyways, this isn't someone saying this is so stupid. How is this stupid? Spam bot guy. What's so stupid about it? Help me understand this. What is so stupid about doing that? Come on, big screen. Let's go, spam bot guy. Let's go. Anti-cheat is the last holdback for gaming on Linux. What is stupid about analyzing memory on your system and identifying various anti-cheats? Yeah, let Tim cook. We're going to let Tim cook. The cheat developers can just recompile the cheat. It's not as simple as just simply recompiling the cheat. The stupid part is that it's literally any kind of compiled code that functionally a similar thing to what the cheat does and ends up in your memory can raise a red flag. Well, I think that's why, just let the man chill. That's why I said they have to carefully analyze the cheat and create a unique signature that is only found in your RAM when the cheat is loaded and never found when the cheat is not loaded. So yes, there's going to be some unique part of it that if they can figure out what it looks like in memory, then they can tell that you're running it. All right, Ricochet and signature scans. As expected, Ricochet uses signature scanning as one of its many methods to detecting and banning cheaters. Earlier this year, when I was tracking memory allocations of their kernel module, I stumbled upon a memory region that caught my attention. Unlike most regions, this one contained a lot of strings and all of them cheating related. Reversing the structure confirmed my suspicion. It was a list of signatures for a signature scan routine. The signatures. As I said before, anti-cheats must be extra careful when creating signatures for cheats. A bad signature could lead to innocent players being banned. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at a few signatures Ricochet has been using. I assume these are all, I assume this is kind of like the, what's it called? This right here is the translation because these are like 0 characters, right? Oh, sorry. Hey, Janet, appreciate the raid. By the way, Janet, for those that don't know, Janet is an all-star Clojure programmer, which I will be getting deep into the Clojurino here shortly, starting here in just about 40 days, and then I will be officially a Clojure boy for a while. Yeah. Just some recreational programming in Clojure. Hey, if you're not following Janet, yeah, I can't wait. Well, we'll see. Maybe you might want to wait. By the way, thank you, Call of Duty, for the 102.75 gigabyte update last night. Dude, Call of Duty has the worst updating in the universe. All right, so these are all just simply ASCII characters. That's all that's happening here? Because this is a new line, right? 20? Is 20 a new line? Or no, that's a space. So that would be, so that's a space. And so this must be BOT. This must be trigger. And so this must be literally the ASCII translation of each one of these. As you can see, Ricochet is a big fan of using plain text ASCII and multi-byte strings for their signature scans. What could go wrong? The hard part, to be completely fair, any binary is effectively a string. A string is just binary. And so it's like, it's just like right there. This is technically binary, which is also just a string, which is also just ASCII. I thought it was hex. Well, hex is how you write binary out, right? These are ASCII strings. Yes, they're not UTF-8 encoded strings because they'd be illegal. They are technically UTF-8 encoded strings. These are also UTF-8, but it's just hex, right? Hex is just a grouping of binary, yes. And so By the way, Call of Duty is so realistic that it now starts with you in the mall with a recruiter trying to trick you into signing up for the military. Yep. That's actually the new Call of Duty. Pluto Imp, thank you. All right, the exploits. So now that we know that anyone who has the sentence Triggerbot in their game's memory will be flagged as a cheater. By the way, that's nuts. How was this not discovered? This might sound reasonable at first glance. Triggerbot is a common occurrence in cheat menus. Surely you are using one if this phrase is found in your game, right? You think it would be a little bit more than just simply looking for text characters. There's no way they just went that simple. Like, there's no way they're just doing that is entirely too simple. Right? Entirely too simple. Ridiculous. This might sound reasonable at first glance. Yeah, I know. Well, unfortunately for Ricochet, that's not the case. Someone sends a message in game chat, the message will be in your game's memory. Someone sends you a friend request, their name will be in your game's memory. So that's the one thing I don't understand is how do you have someone that sends you a friend request that has the name of something that is triggerable and they don't get banned for having that name? I feel like they should also get triggered for having it, right? When you're playing the game, all the players' names in your lobby, guess what, are in your game's memory. The implication. For quite some time, it has been possible to get people permanently banned by sending them a friend request or posting a message, nice Triggerbot, dude, in the game chat. I even heard of someone who made an auto hotkey script to join, to spam Warzone lobbies and post the message in chat to get anyone in the lobby banned who is scanned by Ricochet during the game. Couldn't be me, honest. Dude, this guy shipped fast. This is ship fast level security. Ship fast level security. I am in a position where I can say that several thousand random COD players were banned by this exploit before streamers began to be targeted. Censor, Parasite, etc. And the others were targeted before the big reveal. I plan to target more, but it seems when several major streamers are permabanned, Ricochet will turn bans off and investigate. No fun. Wait, hold on. Is this guy... Wait, hold on. Did he just say he's the reason why thousands of people got banned? I'm misunderstanding this sentence, am I not? Is he now... Wait, he just said it wasn't him, and now he's saying he is... I'm in the position that I can say that several thousand random COD players were banned by this exploit before streamers began to be targeted, and others were targeted before the big reveal. I planned to target more, but it seems when several major streamers are permanently banned... Yeah, I know. We already read that this is from, what's it called? Visor. So the guy... he just banned several thousand people from the Call of Duty platform by sending them this. Guy's kind of a dick. That is honestly just such dick behavior. That's all I gotta say about that. If you're the one that did that, you're just actually just a dick. Like that's all that's all there is. You're just a mean person. You're mean-spirited. That's it. Actual brown hat behavior. It's still very funny. I don't think it's very funny. Honestly, I don't think there's anything funny about taking money from somebody else, right? Because they had to buy the game. They probably spent money on it. So that guy just said he stole somewhere between $60,000 to $200,000 from random people. That's not great. This is Ricochet's fault. No, I understand that Ricochet put the exploit in, but tell me how Wet. Tell me how it's Ricochet's fault. Tell me how it is. Stealing. When someone says vandalism is taking ownership of of something and breaking it. Vandalism is saying it's mine now. I shall be able to do what I want to do. Like, vandalism is a subset of stealing. You just give it back afterwards. You take it, do what you want with it, and then hand it back. Wet. You got to understand. You have to help me understand how it's Ricochet's fault that someone banned thousands of players. You got to help me on that one, because I'm a bit confused at how... Shouldn't the outrage be with the incompetent anti-cheat? Yes, the outrage is at the incompetent anti-cheat. You're absolutely right. I think that the incompetent anti-cheat is most certainly to blame for being incompetent. But to have... Let's see, they're the ones who wrote it to work this way. It is a very naive way to do anti-cheat, just look for strings. I've been on the opposite side of anti-cheaters in Warzone. I have blamed Activision and Ricochet for being crap. What's funny to me is how poorly it's written. Yes. Okay, that is funny to me also. I'm on your team. It is very, very funny. But Ricochet left the door open. That caused the hackers to be able to do something. But to say it's Ricochet's fault that somebody got people banned is a little bit difficult for me to make that jump. It's the person's fault, right? Like, I will never, ever, ever in my life see that something is bad and then look at that bad thing and then say, because it was used bad, it's the person who created its fault, right? Like, no, I would never do that. Now, Ricochet is at fault when, yes, Ricochet is obviously at fault when they're taking action when only big streamers got caught. Well, big streamers have big voices, and they get caught online when they're clearly not cheating. And so it becomes very good. It's negligence. Yes, it's absolutely negligence. Negligence is 100% on Ricochet's fault, and it just shows how poor Ricochet has actually been implemented. I mean, the developers should be very, very sorry, and everyone who got banned should get a special skin that they can wear with pride around and free Call of Duty for the rest of their life. Boom. There you go. Right? All right. This is the result of a major oversight by the Ricochet team. Absolutely. This is crazy. The fact that they just scanned, because what they're really saying in here is that they're scanning all the memory. They're scanning the entire in-memory running Call of Duty. Like everything. So if the thing takes, 3 gigabytes of memory, are they scanning literally the entire thing? Creating an anti-cheat is hard? Oh, absolutely. Creating an anti-cheat is very, very hard. No one is saying creating a good anti-cheat is easy. Right? But they're taking the entire running process with all of its memory and just scanning it. Like that for text, for ASCII strings, like that is crazy. The thing is even just like searching for that small of a binary, like that could just happen by accident in an image, I assume. Right? Like you could just run into that anywhere. Activision has already started to unban accounts that were banned using this exploit, but this comes at a caveat. Also, real cheaters who were caught using these strings will get unbanned. Yeah, but it's their fault. They just had a poor system. They just simply have to unban everybody that runs into this. That's just that. Also, Ricochet seems not to understand how many people got pwned by this small number of claims. You can read their statement here. Oh yeah, I want to read that. Let's read their statement. All right, to go back to, I think it was Wet who said it's their fault. A good example of why this isn't, like, I would not put blame on Ricochet for the exercise of this exploit that caused thousands of people to be banned. A good example of that would be when Chase, I believe it was Chase, had that oopsie daisy where you could withdraw money by, depositing a large check, withdrawing the money, and then not actually having it work. Like, that was a bug in their system. But to exploit it requires you to consciously make a decision to do something that's kind of shitty. The TikTok free money glitch, yeah. The infinite money glitch. Yeah, you mean check fraud? Yes. So, typically, you don't just go and get people banned. Yeah, so typically vandalism. Right? Typically, you can't just blame, just because someone hands you a spray, like a spray paint, doesn't mean you can just go and spray paint stuff. Anyways, either way, I'm just saying, this is just not good behavior. I just don't like the behavior of this. You assume there's some sort of reasonable disclosure, some sort of stuff like that, and then at last effort, whoever made this doesn't go anywhere in here to kind of show like they went through some sort of reasonable disclosure and got, right. There's no proof that he's saying, well, I tried to say these things. I went through the proper channels. No one would listen to me. So I had to make it so that they understand that there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior. Exactly. I think someone said it perfectly. This is identical ethically to blaming the person that got robbed for leaving their door unlocked. Yes. Like the person obviously did a terrible anti-cheat. I think we can all press 1 in the chat and agree that this this anti-cheat is absolutely horrible. Nobody is going to deny that. I just really dislike shitty behavior when you discover something is open, right? It just means that you're also shitty. I've done anti-cheat, let's see, RE in the past for fun. I swear I've never cheated on online games. Using plain text content signatures is a really poor solution. Signatures are usually a combination of content and structure. Not just that, signatures themselves should never be a trigger of instantaneous ban. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't mean that the one doing the vandalism had an excuse, but paid product as expensive as a AAA game has to have not garbage anti-cheat. Yes, you should. I mean, I think what you're really saying is that there should never be an anti-cheat that's put into place that can have a false positive. I think that is a perfect summation of what you're trying to say. That if something like that happens, it should minimally flag the account so that there's some sort of review. Now, false positive kills your player base. False positives are just bad, right? Like we can all agree that false positives are bad, right? They're just not the way we want to live. Private pile. No, why is your Foot Locker unlocked? It wasn't for the people like you. It wouldn't have theft. Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, we wouldn't have theft. Yeah, that's also not true. But I appreciate the Full Metal Jacket reference. All right. If you follow Thor, he also points out that individual bans are ineffective because they won't work as a canary in the cheat mine. Yeah, I don't fully understand all of those things, but I think I'd have to understand more of what he's attempting to say there. But let's look at the Call of Duty response. What's the Call of Duty response? Ricochet Anti-Cheat has identified and disabled a workaround to detect a detection system in Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone that impacted a small number of legitimate player accounts. We have restored all accounts that were impacted. An examination of our systems was conducted for safety, and monitoring will continue. Is that really how they're going to spin it? What an asshole way to say things, dude. To be like, you know what, our cheat system it needs an absolute overhaul, and we have hurt players who have been banned due to our poor programming. Right? Just absolutely no accountability. A backdoor has been discovered. What's crazy is this AAA game basically has no anti-cheat. Dude, this is crazy. By the way, for those anyone who thinks like anti-cheat or removing cheat, like here's the problem about I think all gamers, and you see this all the time. On one hand, you have gamers that absolutely hate cheaters. On the other hand, you hate people that goof up making these anti-cheats. I mean, there's still, like, to me, what it says is that Ricochet is still trying to figure out how to do anti-cheats well. I think they did a horrible job, and I think it should have been plainly obvious that what they're doing is bad. But understanding and building good anti-cheats, I assume, is a non-trivial task. And there's going to be a lot of mess-ups, and getting the right people in place is going to take a long time, my guess for them. Because everybody knows Call of Duty is a pretty horrible place to work. Activision is not the place you want to be, so it's probably really hard to get good talent, right? It's probably really hard to get good talent when you have a studio that's known to just be a meat grinder, right? It was a fuck it moment, I guarantee. It was a fuck it moment. You know it, that they figured it out. They knew this cheat existed. They couldn't figure out how to get around it. And then they totally just said, you know, we just need to get this thing to be done right now so people can have a good time, so there's no cheaters, right? And then, lo and behold, cheaters. It's never going to be perfect. DMAs making cheating virtually undetectable. I mean, at the end of the day, the memory is in your computer. You can always find a way to create, very least read the memory. Yeah. That's why there's so much kernel level anti-cheat, is my assumption. These anti-cheats that go all the way down to kernel level is because they can just read everything, right? Talent is a fallacy. Talent is an illusion. I just simply disagree with you, and we've already talked this to death, right? Well, yeah, but DMAs are external devices. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I would assume there's behavioral things you would much rather look up, right? Like, behavioral things is probably better than doing anything else. Because, like you said, software stuff is so difficult. Anyways, I don't know why this is even a thing. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Anyways, hey, you know, just remember, we all, like, I mean, I really just hope this just, if anything, this should just make everybody breathe a breath of fresh air, realizing that everybody cuts corners when you're programming. My only encouragement would be to make sure you cut the corners that aren't very, very important to security. You know, like, maybe if there's a security one, maybe you don't want to cut the corner. Okay, maybe that's like the one you don't want to do, because that could be bad. Also, obviously, use AI and Rust and Nix, because if you would have used AI, Rust, and Nix, this cheat would have never happened. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Nix would have solved this, but you didn't use Nix, so obviously it's not solved. That's your problem. The name. You heard it here first, folks. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. The name is the Primogen.